independent sovereign Palestinian state with Al-Quds as its capital. To shed more light on the visit, we are very much delighted to have with us via phone Her Excellency Ambassador Wafaa Baseem, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Thank you very much for being with us, ma'am.
Good morning.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Ambassador Baseem, would you please, before going into the details, I'd like you to shed more light on the historic ties that bind the two countries, Egypt and Azerbaijan.
Well, the two countries have very long ties, even before Azerbaijan becomes an independent, a totally independent state, and that is from the time where it was part of the Soviet Union. Commonwealth of what is known as the CIS. We never stopped having ties, whether it was inside the Soviet Union, part of it, or as in the independent state. Many things and many aspects do unite the two states, but I would say more the two people. There is, of course, the cultural and religious part, where many of Al-Azhar missionaries have been to Azerbaijan all along the years, and many Azerbaijani young students have joined Al-Azhar to learn not only to the religious elements of the moderate Islam as it is known in Egypt, but also to join the Arab and Islamic culture.
To echo what you have just said, Ambassador Baseem, the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar, Al-Imam Al-Akbar, Sheikh Ahmed Al-Tayyib, already received the visiting Azerbaijani president to, of course, welcoming him to Egypt and discussing ways to boost cooperation between Azerbaijan and Al-Azhar as the Sunni Islamic institution, whether to receive more students from Azerbaijan to study in Al-Azhar or to send Al-Azhar scholars to spread, as you've kindly mentioned, the moderate rules of Islam.
You're quite right, and now the Al-Azhar is not anymore only orders in teaching Islam and Islamic sciences, the different parts of it, but it has become also a global institution that is teaching as well all applied sciences such as engineering, commerce, computer, medicine, you just name it. So the spectrum of the cooperation has broadened a lot, and it becomes a more global kind of teaching that is aiming at the formation of young generations that are well balanced, I would say, either on the modern sciences that allow them to live our modern life, keeping as well their identity as an Islamic country.
Yes, Ambassador Baseem. Returning back to the joint press conference which took place after the summit talks between President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and his visiting Azerbaijani counterpart. As usual and in all occasions, the President is keen to renew the Egyptian firm stance regarding the Palestinian cause and the full support of Egypt to the Palestinians in their legitimate fight to have an independent Palestinian state with Al-Quds as its capital. And the Azerbaijani president also echoed this and expressed his country's full support to the Palestinians and to Egypt in its continuous efforts in support of Palestine. How do you see this, and how do you see all the time the keenness of our political leadership to mention or to renew the Egyptian vow to continue in this path?
Well, I think this visit in general and this press conference in particular is very much reflecting the nature of the excellent relations between the two countries. We will see that at the political level, the two leaders have had a thorough and deep discussion about issues of common concern. As you said, the Palestinian issue at its height with the atrocious events taking place in Gaza and particularly in Rafah, the dire humanitarian situation, the efforts of Egypt to first reach a ceasefire and then to be able to get the Palestinian people from the disastrous humanitarian situation they are in, and then to see how you can resume any initiative that would lead to, as you said, the establishment of a just, lasting peace and a Palestinian state independent, fully viable with Eastern Quds as its capital. On the other hand, while very much supporting and calling for the support of all initiatives coming from Egypt and all efforts coming from Egypt, President Aliyev has also shared with the President of Egypt their experience as far as their relations with Armenia are concerned. And
yes.
he shared the experience of viable negotiations after long years of war. He shared those viable negotiations that led to the recovery of Azerbaijan of all of its territory and how they started marking the frontier.
Demarking the borders, the president really hailed all the negotiations which took place to end this struggle, and this was one of the issues which was discussed, because Egypt is all the time working for settling crises or ending struggles. This is our fate.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. And also the president, while you are talking about hailing and congratulating on the Azerbaijani effort, he also congratulated President Aliyev entering and winning his second mandate
for being re-elected
as president of Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
And he expressed very much the hope that all success for Azerbaijan will be achieved by holding the COP29, which is for the framework of climate change negotiations, and expressed readiness of Egypt to share its experience, that successful one of COP27 with Azerbaijan.
Yeah. And because of that, President Aliyev came heading a high-ranking delegation with top statesmen, with many ministers who already signed the memoranda of understanding with the Egyptian side, and this is something we are going to tackle. But before going to this, the President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi announced the formation of the joint Azerbaijani-Egyptian committee, which is going to continue with implementing all the decisions they took on the ground, meaning that it's going to be not only a kind of cooperation between the leaderships of the two countries, not only summit talks, but on the ministerial level, on the businessman level, on the chambers of commerce level, in the two countries. How do you see the continuation of cooperation, or the cooperation on all levels, starting from the political leaderships to all businessmen?
I think usually the joint commissions do have different chapters. One is the political chapter, which reviews usually the political cooperation between two states. How do they see regional and international issues? How they coordinate their positions in international and regional fora. And here with Azerbaijan, we have the United Nations, we have the Organization of Islamic Countries, and the non-aligned movement. And let's not forget that Azerbaijan has recently been chairing the non-aligned movement in the different chapters in New York, Geneva, and others. And I would say the other, let's say, chapter of the cooperation is the technical and economical part. This is not newly established. We are going to see during this year the 6th Joint Commission meeting that would look into economic affairs, tourism, energy, climate change, infrastructure that is very well needed by the Azeri part, and where President Aliyev has requested a good contribution of the Egyptian part in this infrastructure project in his country. We're talking about gas, we're talking about general. There is also the economic part, which is investment on one side and commerce and trade on the other side. One of the memo of understanding that were signed was on investment. Also, we will have the entrepreneurs forum, business forum, that is going to take place also before the end of the year, under the leadership, or under the patronage, the high patronage and sponsorship of the two presidents.
In fact, the protocols or the deals which were signed yesterday included energy, renewable energy, electricity, transport, culture, youth and sports, even artificial intelligence. I mean, they were a bundle of, there was a bundle of memos of understanding which were signed approximately in all domains. How do you see the expansion of cooperation, even in the fields I mentioned, which can be considered as brand new?
I do think that all these memorandum of understanding that have been signed are very important as a base, as a starting point. But the most important thing for me is the implementation first and the follow-up of what has been implemented. Because this is how you can see the transformation from the intention of cooperation, from letters, from papers signed, into reality that is having a positive impact on the lives of people in both states, by creating new job opportunities, by expanding the trade volume, which means that you have behind this trade industries, agriculture. Also, another aspect, as you said, is the artificial intelligence and the technology in general, and the importance of cooperation between the two states in adapting the new technologies to their needs and to their meanings as well.
Even among the fields of cooperation or the memos which were signed, a memo in cooperation in the pharmaceutical industries arena and to export the Egyptian medicine to Azerbaijan, and maybe this is going to be one of the gates for our medicine to invade Europe. And this is another leap or another fruitful side of the coin. So Azerbaijan can be our gate to Eastern Europe at least, and we can be the gate to Africa for Azerbaijan. How do you see this as a win-win situation for both countries?
Well, the Egyptian pharmaceutical products are not new to Azerbaijan or to Eastern Europe or to the CIS countries. I've been president in Romania, and I have been ambassador to Romania, and there were at least 4 Egyptian pharmaceutical companies operating there, exporting Egyptian medicines to not only Romania but to Moldova, which is another former Soviet Union republic. So the importance now is to revive and to enhance the presence of Egyptian pharmaceutical products in these markets. And as you said also, Egypt through COMESA, but now through the large free trade area or trade zone of Africa, is going to become, as you said, the gate of Azeri products to get into Africa through what we can call the Golden Gate of Egypt.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very important point, because pharmaceutical products are not only medicine, but you just name it, all sorts of products that are and industries that are related to that field.
Yeah. Well, Ambassador Wafaa Baseem, former Assistant Foreign Minister, thank you very much for your input, ma'am, and have a very good day. Right after the short break, we are going to return back with more, so stay tuned.